We look into the future and prepare for a future that the next generation will thank us for. And our work, our laws must reflect this. So what have we done in the Senate? In 2010, upon my initiative and in partnership with a non-governmental office group, Mother Earth Foundation, we created a material recovery facility which was set up in the Senate parking lot. For those who don't know, a material recovery facility takes the place of a dump. In other words, in that facility, sinesegregate. So if you look closely at the photos, and maybe next time I will ask, instead of a collage, separate photos so you can see clearly, segregated are the PET bottles, the cartons, the paper, and other types of trash that come out of our offices, dear colleagues. These come out of our offices, ha? Hindi to galing sa ibang lugar. These come out of our offices noong 2010. I doubt if there's much difference. Umiinom pa rin tayo ng tubig, gumagamit pa rin tayo ng papel, so malamang ganun pa rin yon. But the good news is, after this was created in 2010, and this included a program that allowed us to comply. We had a no waste segregation, no collection policy, which means kung hindi tayo mag-segregate sa kanya-kanyang opisina natin, hindi i-collect ang basura. The result was amazing. It resulted in a 50% reduction in the solid waste generated by the Senate, as reported by the General Service Department 1 month after. The frequency of hauling services was also reduced from once a week to once every 2 weeks. Twice a month na lang naghahakot sa atin. So, nabawasan yung contribution ng basura natin sa Pilipinas. In the 18th Congress, I also held hearings on Sustainable Development Goal number 12 on responsible consumption and production before the pandemic. The idea was to explore solutions on reducing plastic waste and other waste. As I said, the EPR is now a law, and although the focus is on the responsibility of large product producers that use plastic packaging such as sachets, food containers, single-use plastics, including plastic bags, straws, cutlery, and more, as the sponsor of the measure, Senator Villar, said, this does not prevent the medium and small size companies from embarking on the same measure to contribute to a better country, a better planet. So this is where the challenge lies, my dear colleagues. Paano naman tayo? Paano naman ang contribution nun? This is something that we need to think about and is what is the subject of my privileged speech. Especially during the time of COVID, dumami talaga ang single-use plastic, pati yung mga take-out containers and mga COVID-related waste. The medical waste created by COVID should really be subject of another speech. I'll be happy to deliver it unless somebody else would like to do that. During the pandemic, I also raised the issue of these proper disposals with the DNR. So like I said, we can talk about this another time. So one of the first manifestations I made in the 18th Congress, and I'll ask that slide to be shown later, is to return to the better practices that we initiated in 2011. And this includes, among many others, one is going paperless. So, dear colleagues, I will illustrate for you.
Ma'am, ako na, ma'am. Ako na, ma'am. Pakita mo.
We thank the able-bodied gentlemen of the Senate for assisting our distinguished
I'll
colleague.
put on the record, Senator Jinggoy, Senator Angara, Senator Villar,
And Senator
Senator
Padilla.
Robin Nataranta, natulungan ako, and Senator Robin Hood even offered to carry me as well. Anyway, dear colleagues, example lang to. Order of business, journal. Every day, you will see that on your table. Every day, nandyan yan. I leave it up to you if you read this during session, you read it tonight, your staff read it. Kanya-kanyang style yon. But in the last Congress, I requested na hindi na ako bigyan. I would read it in my iPad to save on paper. So, but that is I don't impose that on anyone, Your Honors, Senate President, but it is a choice that you make. Now, is it hard to transfer to digital? Dear colleagues, I defended all the tax measures digitally. So, kung kinaya ko yon, kaya natin yan. It was a challenge, believe me. Medyo, kasi and to think I'm a visual person, I'm literally the type of person that needs different colored Post-its. Pero kaya, if we want. But I'm not saying it has to be that way. Everybody should do whatever they are comfortable with. But I illustrated this to show you that this is the kind of paper we generate. In a few months, this is Senator Mark Villar's folder that I stole. In a few months, all of this, whether you like it or not, will be filled with the bills and resolution. Oops. Ikaw na. Thank you. Salamat. This will be full for the information of our new colleagues. Mapupuno yan. The binder is like a 3-inch binder. Mapupuno yan. Hindi mo na nga ma-flip, di ba? Hindi mo na yan ma-flip na hindi lalabas yung mga punong-puno yun. Is it even the copy that you use to write your notes? Most likely hindi. Most likely you have another set of notes. So we all have to decide what we can do on our own. And Senator Mark, pasensya na. Babalik ko. We have to decide what we can do to do our part in lessening the paper. Again, there will be the MRF anyway, so kung ano naman yung ginamit natin, madadala din naman sa MRF at marirecycle. Now, that is with respect to paper. With respect to tumblers, and I have a photo, I want to show 2 pictures. I'm very proud of my colleagues. Nilubos-lubos nyo yung regalo ko sa inyo na bamboo tumbler. Maraming salamat. And I think it was a source of pride for many. Si Senator Bato would always, although iba gamit niya ngayon, ewan ko kung sinong babae ang nagbigay niyan sa'yo dahil hindi ako ang nagbigay niyan sa'yo. Joke lang yon. I was very proud, and my colleagues were also very proud to show. Senator Grace would show it to me, Senator Manny, and many of you who are not even in the video would use it. And I'm happy, and I'm sure buhay pa yan somewhere in your office or in your homes. On that note, before I go to my next point, I want to show the other slide, which is where one of my call to actions come in, the slide with the hearings. Nanawagan din tayo at nasunod naman, naging policy that we do not use any PET bottles anymore in the hearings. And we actually put in the invitation to attend the hearing, can we shift the photo to the hearings? We actually put a notice to the resource persons to bring their own tumbler because we have a water dispenser. Sinunod naman nila. So I'd really like that to be imposed, that we continue to do this so that we can really make a difference in the country. Now, for the sake of our new colleagues, I am also providing you with my gift to help us all become sustainable. The gentleman.
Bodyguard, ano ma'am? Isa ko bigyan.
Pakita muna natin yan.
Hawakan ko na ma'am.
Diyan ka muna. So, I've asked Senator Robin to help me carry. Kaya ko nung buhatin, pero I don't mind na may assistant akong tumutulong sa akin. Mga personalized bottles para po sa inyong lahat. Para talagang manindigan tayo sa ating trabaho na maging examples, di ba? So, hindi mo naman kailangan i-distribute, but kahit kay Senator Jinggoy muna, ayan, nakita ko yung pangalan niya. Ayan.
We'd like to thank the lady senator for the last time it was bamboo.
Yes, actually,
Bamboo
Senator Bong has his. Thank you. That's the proof of sustainability. Now, my other demo. Senator Bong, may I ask you to stand up with me? Senator Robin, pahingi ng isang sample. Ayan. Okay, ito yung sa'yo. Dito ka sa tabi ko, please, para makita ng Senate President. My dear colleagues, itong hawak ni Senator Robin, 24 ounces. Imagine, okay, ito yung bigay ko kay sa dating Congress, mas maliit, ano? Pero 3 years, ginagamit pa. Dear colleagues, tingnan nyo naman to. Tulungan mo pa ako ulit. 2, 4. Itong 4, laman lang ng isa. So sa isang araw na nakikipagdebate tayo, madaling umubos ng 4, di ba? So sa isang araw pa lang, tipid na tayo dun sa 4. Multiply that by the number of days, sa dami ng away, sa dami ng debate. Kailangan uminom ng tubig. Yun ho ang purpose nun, to illustrate. Thank you
Ako
very
naman,
much.
ako naman. Para
Thank you,
tuloy-tuloy
thank
ka
you.
dyan.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Senator, for
And
the
then,
bottle.
on a further note, ito naman was just brought about by a conversation with Senator Lauren yesterday. I'd like to thank her because in our lounge today, nagdala siya ng sariling ani ng kanyang farm, no? Yung mga, at kinain na ni Senator Robin kanina, yung mga lettuce, di ba? Kung ano-ano yon nandun. Sabi ko, tapos nakita niya yung kinakain ko. Sabi niya, saan galing yung kinakain mo? Sabi ko, baon ko. Ito naman yung baonan ko. So sabi niya, gusto din niya ng baonan. So if you notice, lahat na nagpapa-birthday, kinain ko pa nung gabi yung mga pa-birthday nyo. Kasi binabaon ko yung mga tira-tira natin doon. And of course, we also share that with whoever, no? So I'm just saying na mula nung grade school ako, may baon-baon akong lunchbox, may baon pa rin akong lunchbox. Shopee lang to. Kung sino may gusto, ako nang bahala sa inyo, let me know kung gusto nyo rin magbaon. Especially the bachelors living alone, pero baka naman may nagluluto na para sa ating bachelor. Bahala na kayo doon. Ikaw. Ikaw. So, Mr. President, if I may end with my call to action, let's ban the use of PET bottles in the Senate. Not just encourage, but, well, encourage and request everyone to bring their own jug, because if they plan to drink and be hydrated while they are here, then they can do that. What the Senate can do is, and I will happily donate 100, di naman siguro yung ganitong personalized, pero I will have 100 more there in case nakalimutan mo. O di, baso lang naman pala. Baso lang sa sarili mga office natin, di ba? Kung hindi kayo magdadala ng sarili nyong tumbler or jug. Ban also the use of sachets. Medyo maayos naman magpasweldo ang Senate, hindi ho ba? Kanino ko ba i-direct yung tanong ko, to the Senate President or to the Accounts Chair? But I think maayos magpasweldo ang Senate, no? Siguro hindi naman tayo kailangan nagtitipid na nakasachet. We can afford to buy the bigger containers of soap, of dishwashing detergent, whatever, so that we can be more economical in the use of our these kind of products, which tend to come in sachets and are sometimes the go-to. If we can also ban that in the Senate, Your Honors. And then, yung no waste, no segregation pickup. Now again, like I said, sustainability doesn't happen overnight. So for this to happen, kailangan tayo mag-retrain. And we should get experts to help in every office to train us so that we can live that way. Senator Lauren is nodding her head. Baka siya na mismo mag-head trainer. Siya na, nag-o-offer. But anyway, like I said, the Senate has worked with the foundation, Mother Earth, who has trained us to do that. The other one, which is not an imposition, but maybe we can ask the Secretariat to continually study and make their own recommendation. These are just mine, but maybe we can have a team that makes this kind of recommendations so that we're always looking for ways to live and work more sustainably. And this should be data-driven. So ang request ko, after we decide on all of this, let's have data to show how many PET bottles did we no longer buy. Now, make no mistake, I'm not saying let's not support the companies that provide us with whatever distilled mineral water. They can still provide that by the 5-gallon container. That's all I'm saying. Di naman ko sinasabing mag-DIY tayong lahat. Meron pwedeng i-DIY, meron din naman pwedeng binibili pa rin sa mga recognized suppliers. So that's my point, no? Maybe I don't really know if we have, I mean, I know we have a gender office. Do we have a sustainability office? Maybe we can. Maybe the Senate President can put together. Maybe Senator Lauren, maybe you want to be the one to show it, or ako na?
May gift to you.
A gift niya sa akin. Okay, so nagregalo siya sa akin ng wooden, bamboo ba to? Bamboo, spoon and fork. So on this note, as soon as my speech ends, magmimerienda na ako. Spoon and fork, and I love it, the straw. Alam ko, umamin kayo, marami sa inyo mahilig sa milk tea. O ayan na, wag na kayong gumamit ng straw, ng plastic straw. Not only is it not biodegradable, but it can actually choke, no? It chokes marine animals, and it also can, the soft plastic can strangle them. Napipilay sila, it gets caught in their, it gets woven around their feet. Meron pa pala ditong bottle cleaner. Yun. Okay. I think that comes to the end of my speech, Your Honors. I also have tumblers for the Secretariat. The Deputy
I can see them clapping here.
Yes.
I can
Pero
see
dun
them
sa ibang
clapping here.
staff, pwede kanya-kanya na kayong regalo sa mga staff ninyo. Bibigay ko na lang yung mga pangalan ng iba-ibang supplier. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to put on record, I appreciate the efforts of our distinguished colleague. Also, in the 18th Congress, she gave a privileged speech on sustainability and gave us all bamboo containers. It was made of bamboo. And we appreciate her gesture. But maybe we can ask the Secretariat, particularly our pages, to fill up our bottles with water every day and leave it na para we don't have to continuously ask for water and they just get it from our thermos.
Yes.
But at the same time, we have to get the bigger container of water and place it because it would be useless. Our distinguished lady senator's speech would be wasted if we actually open 4 bottles of water and put it in the container.
Yes, exactly.
Diba? That would be the
Exactly.
worst thing that can happen.
It should come from the bigger containers,
bigger
Your Honor.
containers,
And maybe we can request that there's one here kasi
A
the closest
dispenser.
one
It's a dispenser.
is in our lounge at the
Yes.
end pa of the dining room. So pwede naman dito maglagay para yung
Yes.
pages natin madalian na. And then if I may, but this can be subject, I don't know if we'll toss it to the Rules Committee or even the Secretariat, baka pwedeng may multa. Tayo-tayo lang naman, may multa. I mean, syempre, baka kailangan ng emergency, ewan ko, ako kasi I'd really like to ban I'd really like to ban the single plastic containers in the Senate. So, in that case, wala nang multa, di ba? Kasi wala talaga eh. And meron naman mga baso, meron naman mga tumbler. So, anyway, it's subject to...
Yeah, we could discuss it with the
Yes.
Secretariat.
Thank you.
And also on the issue of using paper, I totally agree. You know, I'm a conservationist myself, so all amount of trees that we're actually cutting to produce all the paper that we're utilizing in the Senate on a daily basis alone. What we'll do is I instructed Madam Senator, we instructed the Secretariat to do a poll among the senators, of the 24 senators who are willing to forego with a paper document
Yes.
or just go digital. Unfortunately, myself, I still do the old style of having the piece of paper in front of me because I do notes.
Yes.
I write notes on it. But I'm not as tech savvy as you, where I can actually write the notes on the iPad.
I'll teach you, Your Honor.
Yeah, maybe you
I had
can
the
teach me.
pleasure of also showing the last Senate President, Tito Soto, how easy it is because I was actually scared also and worried about my technical skills. They're not that good, believe me. But we are, ano naman, no? What do I say this?
Adaptable. We can
Nag-a-adapt
adapt,
naman tayo. So I can show you a few tricks. But like I said, and like you're saying, to each his own. I think it's a personal journey. The thing is to give everybody the tools. So if the Secretariat can also find experts within the Senate or if necessary to hire so that they can also teach. Baka there are members of the Senate who want their team to also mauna yung team to be more proficient and then maybe later on the
Yes.
principal can also learn. And I did have another comment to make, Your Honor, when you mentioned paper. Yes, may I also include in the request to the team that will handle this, obviously there will be papers that will be printed. I think we're still far from going zero, no, to being really paperless. But maybe we can explore using recycled paper. Bakit ba? Hindi ba pwedeng brown yung kulay ng papel na ginagamit natin, di ba? Hindi naman kailangan. Siyempre, yung certificate na ibibigay natin sa resolution nung ino-honor natin, magandang klaseng papel yon, parchment. Pero tayo lang nagbabasa. Pwede naman tong recycled paper, brown paper, whatever
Yes.
it takes, Your Honor.
Yes. Actually, we can even print as necessary. So
Yun
if the senators wish to just go online, digital, then we will no longer provide them with the voluminous paper documents. And those, if they want for the person, basically for the day, if they need a document printed, then as printed, as requested na lang. As requested.
May I just demonstrate something, Your Honor?
You could make it, Secretary, you could make it sort of like within the premises. We can,
Your Honors, maybe on another occasion, I can actually demonstrate and show it on the screen how, for example, the order of business where we actually go through the first reading In my case, I have it downloaded, and so either I'm looking at the screen or I'm looking at my iPad, and that's where I already scribble notes, which my team will already see. Like if I see, give me a copy of this, lagay ko na doon. Pwede naman lagyan ng iba-ibang icons yon for them to understand. No? Usually, I just say, give me a copy.
Yeah.
So things like that, and I'm happy to share maybe whatever we've learned, we're happy to also share that with our colleagues, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, our distinguished colleague. And rest assured, I will give the instructions to the Secretariat to come up with a plan of action for the Senate. I think the Senate is a younger Senate this time, and we're all aware of climate change and sustainability. We'd like to rise up to the challenge, and let's make the 19th Congress a sustainable Senate.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
Yes,
President.
Mr. President, I cannot agree more. Mr. President, this juncture, may we recognize our Senate President Pro Tem, Senator Lauren Legarda, to make some manifestation or probably ask some
Also
questions.
a green-minded
Also a
legislator.
champion.
Green-minded because of her environmental action.
Thank you,
Ask
Mr.
me that she be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Lauren
Please.
Legarda is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This representation wishes to associate herself with the esteemed senator from Taguig. I thank Senator Pia Cayetano, the chairman of the Sustainability Committee, in bringing to our attention today, at the start of the 19th Congress, the importance of utilizing and exercising and implementing sustainability at home. And the Senate is our second home. Yes, Republic Act 9003 was sponsored and enacted into law by this representation as a very young senator, even younger than the Senate Majority Leader. I was 38 years old when I wrote this measure and enacted into law at 41. It was the first law signed by then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in January of 2001. Thank you, Senator Cayetano, for bringing that 21-year-old, 2030? 21-year-old, hindi na dalagita, law into attention today and bringing it to our everyday lives. I agree with you that first we must implement and utilize the material recovery facility. The material recovery facility is the repository of the segregation of waste at source, recycling, and composting. First, it must be pretty and clean without being expensive. Sa paghihiwalay ng basura sa bote, lata, at plastic na maaring iresikulo at maaring ibenta at maaring gawin mga flower pot or pangsibol ng mga halaman, pwede pong gamitin. Second, paper waste, as mentioned by the good senator, may be recycled and can even be sold later on, but we must, of course, reduce and reuse paper. Third, if we have space, I know we do not own this property, but we have, there is an open space where a compost pit must be established so that the food waste from each office, if there is, or from the lounge and from the cafeteria, bote, lata, plastic na kahiwalay sa MRF. But the food waste, Mr. President, must never go into an MRF. Ayon po sa ating batas na RA 9003, bubuksan ko po ang aking baon na aking tinanim ay yung saba.
Saging na saba.
Ito pong saba, ako po yung nagtatanim nito at pwede ko po yung supplyan ng libre dahil ito po ay mahusay na potassium. Kakainin ko po, napakasarap. Ang balat po nito, hindi ko po kinakain, hindi ko pa natutuklasan ang pakinabang nito. Pero pwede po itong itapon sa compost pit. Alam po to ni Chairman ng Senate Sustainability Committee. And the compost pit will be the repository of all food waste and garden soil and twigs and dry leaves, which can be the best organic fertilizer. Our Chairman of Agriculture knows very well, Senator Villar, the author of our Extended Producer's Responsibility, that imported fertilizers are so expensive, but we can make our own. And we have so much food waste. In fact, we should aspire for almost nil food waste. Sana nga, zero waste. But there are ways sometimes, mga balat. Now, we can use that in our Senate grounds for an organic compost pit. Whatever is left that cannot be recycled, that's what we call residual waste or latak. And that can be reduced to maybe only 20% of the total waste that we emit, that we use. And I know that for a fact, Mr. President, because if I may mention it myself, hindi naman po sa pagyayabang, gusto ko lang po ipahayag yung ating passion and I share her passion. I've been living this way for more than a decade, Mr. President. From the time that we wrote the law and passed it 21 years ago, I'm a work in progress and I've aspired to live up to the laws that we author. And so I am grateful that this is brought to our attention today, and let this attention reverberate among all of us, all our staff, and even the visitors. And let me mention, Mr. President, in the last term here from 2013 to 2019, in our committee hearings, I'd requested the COMSEC not to serve bottled water. And in fact, as you requested, we had the dispensers. May we request that it not be a choice of the senator, but it be made a standard practice?
That's my call to action, Your
Yes,
Honor, that
yes.
it is a
We can-
policy of the Senate
Yes.
that will not be offered. That's why, as I mentioned, what we did in our invitations for the hearings, we tell them, bring your own tumbler. We have a water dispenser. Kahit ilagay pa dun in bold in the beginning, water will not be available.
Yes.
Bottled water will not be available. It is banned in the Senate.
I think we did it at the same time because that was in 2016 when you were in the House of Representatives and I was here. But
Actually, Your Honor, we introduced it earlier because when I introduced the concept of the MRF, I also
In 2010. Very good.
requested that that policy be adopted.
And it's doable.
It
If
is.
you were able to do it, and I was able to do it during our hearings at the time, it is doable. I have lived for many, many years, perhaps a decade, without bottled water. I cannot live without my water jug. Of course, meron po akong dalang litro, ilang litrong dala. At hindi po ako bumibili. Imagine 1 bottled water per person. Number 1, the cost. Second, where will it go? If you have to drink 8 bottles a day or 8 glasses a day, imagine 8 bottled water a day. Ang tipid po natin pag hindi tayo nagba-bottled water. But we have the big dispenser. So if we make do with water bottles or bottled water, malaking tulong na po sa atin. Pangalawa po, if we really go zero waste in every office, meaning recycled paper back and forth, but reduce the use of paper. And if all the food waste are not put in the same trash bin as bote, lata, plastic, then we are fully compliant with RA 9003. Mr. President, in 2000, early 2000, the open dumps were already outlawed. I hope that the Senate has no open dump in our sides or the back. I hope our homes and where we live don't have open dump sites. In fact, there was a time when the ombudsman had an environmental ombudsman and would actually bring to court or file cases against erring local government units who did not comply with RA 9003. I join you in expressing frustration, but perhaps this frustration can be converted into passion. And I can assure you, it is doable because I've lived that way. And we can even extend by growing our own food. Since we have a compost pit in our grounds, I'm sure that GSIS will provide. We can even have, kung merong gulayan sa paaralan ng DepEd, meron pong gulayan for all our staff, for all the Senate employees, and they can actually plant on their own. The good senator knows that during the pandemic, I gifted her with a bin where she can actually grow vegetables. It came with vegetables and
Vegetable
herbs.
tower. It was
Yes,
a tower.
a tower garden is what we call it. It was being done by a like-minded friend and associate, and I gifted her with that during the pandemic. I believe it's still in her home. That tower garden, which I have also in my home, but I don't need it in my little farm because I have a small space there for gulay, has sustained us. And if I may say, Mr. President, in the 2.5 years of the pandemic until now, I am able to provide free vegetables and food to more than 24 families. Family, my staff, neighbors, for free. Some people say I should sell my gulay. I think I give it away with a lecture on teaching them how to grow their own food. Malaking tipid po, hindi na po ako namamalengke o nag-grocery para sa aking gulay, pati sa ibang prutas. At ang mga balat po ang siyang ginagawang compost. Pangalawa po, if I may add, with the permission of the good
course.
lady senator, let's also save our seeds, because when we eat fruits with seeds, we can actually keep them, dry them, at sisibol po yan. At pag sibol, ay pwede natin ilagay sa mga pinutol nating plastic bottles, kung meron man tayong plastic, at dun itatanim, and we can give away those seedlings for free to whoever wishes to plant it. These are everyday, doable measures, Mr. President, on sustainability. In fact, I will share with you a soft copy in your emails, sustainability measures that we can do every day, as well as climate adaptation measures on a bigger scale in our respective barangays and in our local communities. But if I may be allowed to summarize what the good lady senator had proposed to the leadership of the Senate, first, that we strictly implement RA 9003 and segregate waste at source, recycle, and compost, starting with our own offices. Second, that we may not totally dispense with paper, but we at least use it back and forth and decide which advisories and materials can be digital or virtual. And third, that we dispense with the use of bottled water and instead have appropriately stationed water dispensers for hot and cold for everyone. And fourth, that we, of course, change our lights. Everything's LED, because I would like to add that Senator Gatchalian had authored already a measure that we had sponsored, a measure that we had authored, and that is the energy efficiency measure just in 2019. So from 1998 to 2022, we can put all of these laws together and operationalize them into 1 to 10, 1 to 20, ang pang-araw-araw na kayang gawin ng simpleng tao sa kanyang bahay, sa kanyang opisina, para ang ating batas ang siyang pakinabangan. So I will help, Your Honor, in making the Senate, our second home, a sustainable Senate. It would be so embarrassing that we chair our committees and deliver grand speeches and we do not implement this in our own homes and our own offices. And believe me, we will be healthier, we will know that it costs less, and we will feel better because we are compliant with the laws that we espouse. Thank you for this opportunity to give my intervention with Your Honor, and I commend her for bringing it to our attention today. Thank you, Mr. President.
It is much appreciated, Senator, to our Senate President Pro Tem.
Mr. President, Senator Angara wants to be recognized.
We'd like to, would you like ladies first? I can see Senator Villar in the back waving her hand, but yes, if it's okay
It's
with
very
Senator
short,
Villar,
Mr.
you can be
President.
right after.
It's very short. I was so
Senator
inspired by
Angara.
the speech of Senator Pia that I want to follow her lead, and I want to ask the President to ask the Secretariat that I no longer wish to have printed material on my table. And if I can ask Senator Lauren if I can have her banana here
Yeah.
and eat it. I thought bawal kumain sa
I thought you were going
plenary,
to ask
di ba,
her for-
Mr.
For
President?
demo purposes.
I thought you were going to ask also for a tablet from Senator Laglaga. Namimigay ng tablet yan.
But tumatanggap po kami ng tablet sa leadership ng Senado, Mr. President. But having said that, I wish to thank the distinguished lady from Taguig for walking the talk. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Senator Angara. Thank you. Senator
Yes, Mr.
Villar.
President,
Yes. Senator Villar, a distinguished colleague from Las Piñas, is recognized.
Thank you very much. I wish to inform the body, and you might not be aware of this, but we have a functional rotary composting facility within the compound of the Senate, which I donated in the last quarter of 2017. It processes the food waste and garden waste of the Senate. In turn, the organic fertilizer produced are being given to the plantitos and plantitas among the Senate employees. I gather that the Senate composting facility has produced more than tons of organic fertilizer since its inception until 2021, second quarter of 2021. It have been more if not for the COVID pandemic. Medyo pumara kami nung COVID pandemic. The Senate also give its soft plastic waste regularly to the Villar Sipag Waste Recycling Factory in Las Piñas that produces school chairs, which are then distributed to public schools and farm schools nationwide. This initiative is my way of raising awareness that we should not throw away plastic carelessly, as we could recycle them into something worthwhile. Thank you very much.
Yes, we laud also the efforts of Senator Villar on the plastic chairs. It's being distributed to many schools, elementary schools and public schools around the country. I think the color red. It's a particular colored school chair.
Mr. President, may I just make a quick response?
Yes,
Yeah, I
Madam
also
Senator.
would like to thank the senator from Las Piñas on the report that she gave to us. And clearly, it's really a collective effort on the part of all the members. I'm really happy to hear all of this. If I may just quickly also flash one more photo on the screen. Okay, I am trying to remember what year this was. This is definitely more than 10 years ago. And it may not be that clear kasi nga collage. So next time, wag ng collage because it's so small. But that's me with my brother Lino, who was then barangay captain. Since then, he's been congressman and mayor. So it's quite some time ago. But this is the material recovery of Barangay the Fort in Taguig, our new home, Mr. President, our soon-to-be new home. So I show this to our colleagues who are not that familiar because as Senator Lauren pointed out, kailangan malinis, kailangan walang mga ipis, daga, or whatever. And maybe next time, Senator Lauren, you can share with me your organic tips on how to get rid of ipis. Ano yung napag-usapan natin? Langgam, ipis. She knows it all, Your Honors. But anyway, tingnan nyo naman kung gaano kalinis to, no? Because that's the whole point, no? Hindi siya mukhang basurahan. And interestingly, what we were able to do here is yung scavengers dyan sa Barangay the Fort Taguig were then hired as government employees to manage the MRF. So, pero I must say it was not an easy task because we had to, in the same way that I mentioned that every office in the Senate has to agree to be a part and to be educated on segregation, we had to educate every household in the barangay. So, but my brother, then Barangay Captain Lino Cayetano, was able to see that happen. So there, I just shared that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, just to make a short manifestation, I would like to congratulate our distinguished colleague from Taguig Patero, Senator Pia Cayetano. And Mr. President, this representation is very supportive of Senator Pia's call to action on using sustainability materials in Senate activities. Actually, Mr. President, since we became a senator, we filed the beverage container disposal bill, and this was eventually consolidated with the extended producer's responsibility law, thanks also to our Mama Bear, chairperson of the Committee on Environment, Senator Villar, which recently lapsed into law, Republic Act number 11898. Mr. President, at this juncture, may we recognize the distinguished gentleman from Bicol, Senator Robin Hood Padilla. Thank you, Mr.
Ang
President.
ating kapatid at kababayan, ang senador ng Bicol at ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Senator Robin Hood Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at Ginoong Pinunong Minorya. Gusto ko lamang pong sundan ang napakagandang talumpati ng ating magandang binibini mula sa Taguig, ang ating mahal na senadora. Mahal na Pangulo, nais ko lamang pong sundan ang sinasabi sapagkat meron pong, ako po ay nagpunta sa West Philippine Sea at doon ay nakita ko po sa kalawakan ng karagatan ay meron po talaga mga basura sa paligid. At yun po ay nakalulungkot sapagkat napakalawak na po nito, napakalayo na po nito. At makikita mo sa kalagitnaan ng karagatan ay napakaraming basura. At isa na po doon ang plastic. At hindi naman po lingid sa ating kaalaman na ito po ay nakakasama sa mga hayop sa karagatan, sa mga pagong, sa mga isda. Katunayan, sa salitang English nga po, entanglement, ingestion, starvation. Yan po yung pumapasok. Nakakain nila yan eh. Ngayon, pati po sa usapin ng public health, alam naman po natin na meron din po itong economic impact, damage sa ating fisheries, shipping, at turismo. Ang tawag nga po ay ocean plastic pollution dahil sa mismanaged plastic waste. Ang dahilan ng plastic litter o pagkakalat natin, hindi natin pinapansin na recycling o sunugin nga po ito na sinasabi, ano? Hindi natin isinaalang-alang ang plastic products ay may chemical additives. At ito po ay nagkakaroon ng serious health problems tulad ng hormone-related cancers, infertility, at neurodevelopment disorders like ADHD at autism. Kaya napakahalaga po itong mungkahi na to at talumpati ng ating magandang senadora. At sana po ay aksyonan at atin po itong yakapin. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Maraming salamat din po sa inyong mensahe.
Thank you. May I just give a quick response? I would like to thank the gentleman from Bicol. Yung mga binanggit niya, tama ho yun. Talagang there is such a thing as marine pollution. Ito talaga yung effect, no, nung hindi natin yung parang irresponsible disposal ng ating waste materials. And katulad nga nung sinabi niya, liban dun sa nakakasira ito ng environment, meron din itong public health component. Ikaliligaya ko na makasama ang ating senador na taga Bicol na siguro mag-file ng isang resolution para mahingi natin sa DENR ang datos nila para makita natin kung sino yung talagang mga kababayan din natin na pinaka-affected. Kasi wala naman din naman hong panggagalingan yun, kundi yung sarili din natin. Ano? Pero minsan kasi, just like a climate change, and of course our expert is Senator Lauren over there, sadly the Philippines is the recipient of the negative effects of not handling our climate change issues. When the world doesn't deal with climate change, the Philippines is one of the most affected. So I think maganda din malaman yun na baka mamaya, and I share this from experience, in my first 3 years in the Senate, I was chairman of the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources. So pinuntahan namin yung Bulacan River. Pwede po natin ulitin yon. Pinuntahan namin yung Bulacan River at doon namin nalaman sa lawak o our native of Bulacan, ang lawak nung ilog na yon, pag downstream, sila yung pinaka-apektado. So minsan, yung mga nangyayaring activities and minsan kasama ito sa mga industries kasi nalaman ko sa Bulacan na meron silang tanning, meron din silang jewelry making, ano pa ba yung activities? 5 activities yun. Meron din silang pyrotechnics. Lahat yon may effect sa environment. Tapos, apektado ang isda, and then pinaka-apektado yung parte ng ilog na downstream dahil yung activities ng mga nandun sa upstream affected. The gentleman from Bulacan is nodding his head. So, I would love to have an excursion with the gentleman. Sasamahan kita, tayong dalawa ang magsagwan doon. Baka i-host tayo at pakainin tayo pagkatapos ni Senator Joel Villanueva. pag namangka kami sa Bulacan River. But I'm talking about the river, no? Hindi lang river ang affected, katulad nga ng binanggit nyo, yung dagat mismo. So just sharing that information, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you.